Really excited about this week's podcast. Perth-based dad turns back pain into $1 million health brand called SpeedFit. Matej, how are you, mate?
I'm very good. How are you, Greg?
I'm great. Let's rip in.
Welcome to the Body Science Podcast. As always, the information contained in this podcast is for the information purposes only and is not designed to diagnose or be prescriptive to treat, prevent, or manage any injury, disease, or other health-related condition.
Welcome to Body Science HQ, the world of fit, happy, healthy. And at the end, we're going to throw a big speed fit. I'm talking with Matej. He is the co-founder and CEO of SpeedFit. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, Greg. How are you?
Good. So let's talk about that. Like I've jumped on Google and it said you've turned back pain into a multi-million-dollar business. So obviously that caught my attention. What did you do?
Try to recover myself. Pretty much my background is I used to play handball as a professional, European handball.
Massive like over there, isn't it, handball?
So again?
It's massive, isn't it, handball?
It's massive in Europe, massive in South America. It's quite embarrassing when I said here in Australia, especially in Perth, that I'm playing handball because people thought that I'm playing the one in school.
Yes.
And I said I'm playing handball as a professional. No one told me. They were just kind of giggling like, oh, whatever. And then years later, I found out and they showed me some YouTube videos like, that's what you play. I was like, I've never seen that sport. So yeah, the Olympic sport, the professional handball, I used to play that as a professional. And after I finished my career when I was like 21, obviously I gained weight because I was not as active. And when I was about, maybe 26, 27, I hurt my back because I didn't have a time to go to the gym. I was at that time ready to be father, running multiple businesses. So pretty much get caught in a life and had no time to really attend the gym because I was struggling to go there 2-3 times a week, washing all the kind of clothes all the time and so on and so on. So yeah, pretty much just hurt my back because of my weakness as I was. And my physio told me about the technology, the EMS technology, and how I can utilize it, and it's much more time efficient. So then I pretty much started using it for myself, fixed my issues, and it fit into my lifestyle as well, the technology itself. So then we thought, let's build a business around it because I'm sure there's a lot of people with the same issues as I had. And it seems like, it's working very well since then.
So we'll touch on EMS's electronic muscle stimulation.
Yes.
And you're pretty much saying it's a training hack. Is that correct? Like it's something you can utilize because you talked about being time poor.
Yeah.
And you talked about obviously running a lot of businesses. And so your head wasn't in that, I need to get to the gym space. And we've all been through that. I mean, there's times in my life where the gym's been the furthest thing from my mind when I'm driving to where I want to go. So what is electronic muscle stimulation?
So pretty much it's a technology that stimulates your muscles. You can utilize this technology in so many different ways. Like you're pretty much changing the frequency and that will have different impact on your body. My understanding is that the first they kind of discovered that, or they were using it more for like astronauts to keep muscle mass up in space because obviously there's you can't lift anything over there. And then in 60s and 70s, a lot of Eastern European, like Russians and East Germany athletes were using this technology because it's kind of quick way how you can engage your muscles. So you're becoming much faster than if you were just kind of lifting the weight because it's kind of targeting the fast twitch muscles. Usain Bolt was one of the athletes, very well-known athletes, who were using the technology for himself as well as a part of his training regime. Bruce Lee was probably the most famous person in a way that he was kind of wearing some odd pads on his chest and saying like 10 minutes with this is like 10,000 push-ups while he was kind of traveling by the plane. So that's kind of early stages of EMS in a fitness space or at least muscle development. But you can use that technology for different things. You can use it for rehabilitation. You can use it for like cellulite treatments as well. So a lot of beauty centers using it. You might see them small little pads that facial experts using to, kind of like strengthen your skin on a face. So you can use it in very different things. What we using at SpeedFit, we pretty much using the setup that helps you to really increase the muscle and also muscle mass and make you fitter. So pretty much it's almost like a high intensity interval workout benefits in much shorter period of time with less impact on your joints because you don't need to lift anything.
And what does it look like? Is it patches? Is it needles? Do you rub it on? How does it work?
So it started in that very odd way when it was pretty much kind of like little patches or something that you put on your skin and you had to kind of attach it that way. Even if you Google like Bruce Lee and EMS, you will see some sort of pictures of him. It didn't look really nice. What has biggest change in 90s, I would say like late 90s, German engineers kind of took that technology and turned it into like nice full body suit with a vest, with a like strap that you put on yourself.
Yep.
So the technology that we're using, you pretty much have a vest which has electrodes for your abs, for your chest, and for your back, and then you have extra straps for your for your arms, for your legs, and for glutes. And that pretty much each of them has an electrode, and that electrode stimulates the muscle. You use a bit of water. If you've seen the movie A Green Mile, you probably know why.
Yep.
Not exactly, but it just makes it work. Like otherwise, you will need to wait until you sweat, so the conductivity is there. So we put the water in it, and pretty much through that impulse goes straight away through your skin and kind of engage the muscle. So instead of you thinking about, hey, I want to lift the weight, I need to kind of information go from the brain, comes to kind of like through the muscles and to the nerves. This goes directly to the nerves, and it's kind of stimulated muscle straight away. And it's stimulated so many times. It's in kind of like a couple of seconds. So the interval is every 6 seconds you have so many contractions, which it feels like one contraction.
Yes.
And then for 4 seconds you release, and then again. So pretty much in 20-minute exercise, you will have 150 those 6 seconds muscle contractions in each muscle group. And that's what makes it so efficient, because you're working at the same time your abs, your chest, your arms, legs, and so on.
That's really interesting. So let's talk about SpeedFit. So SpeedFit is the delivery system, and it's a franchise as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We kind of built that business around that technology, because technology on its own, you can use it, as I said, for a lot of different things. What my frustration was that I was very busy. I wanted to work on my business because I was very driven by what I was doing, and I really wanted to provide for my family. I was rather spending time with my kids and my wife as well, and getting to the gym was kind of taking my time out of my primary focus.
Yep.
But I also wanted to be attractive to my wife. I also wanted to be fit enough to kind of run around with my kids, and also play some sport that I like, and even eventually going back to handball. So we build a business with that in mind, that the system is kind of like, it's a micro studio where you can just walk in as you are. We will provide you with all the exercise garments. We'll provide you with pre-workout drink for free. We'll provide you with post-workout drink for free. We'll get you fully equipped showers. So all the towels, all the garments, non-slip socks that you don't need to wear the shoes. So I was thinking about someone like me, not want to do all this washing, not bringing all this gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just taking the app, booking the appointment, working in the studio, in and out in half an hour, after the shower, getting pre-workout, getting post-workout drink, back to my daily business, doing it once a week was the perfect solution to me.
Nice. And how long has that SpeedFit been going for?
This is our 8th year.
Yeah, well, congratulations over the magic 5.
Yeah, no, it's 8 years. Yeah, I was just reading yesterday somewhere that only 50% businesses make it to the 10 years or something. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah. So looking forward to kind of keeping up from there.
And so I really hope that the journey continues for you too, for a start. Like, is it an Australian technology? Like, is SpeedFit developed in Australia, or have you bought that from overseas to Australia?
It's the technology itself. It's like a free technology, so anyone can manufacture kind of different type. It's almost like a Pilates or retainer, like a reformer Pilates machine or something. The technology that we're using is from Germany. Mm-hmm. This is they are pretty much the biggest and best supplier of the technology. They are the guys who really developed that machine in the late 90s and made it that way. So we're utilizing their technology.
Yeah, nice. But you produce the end result of the suits that you wear in your clinics?
No. So what SpeedFit does, we pretty much provide the kind of service. We design the flow of it. It's almost, if you're thinking, let's say you're thinking we are fitness, let's talk McDonald's. You kind of have the burger and you're doing all that stuff. Yep. The McDonald's, what is a system and service, how they produce it to make sure that, but the bun itself can be the same thing in different burger chains. So the technology we're using, we're not changing in any way. Yep. We set it up the way that what we want, like 6 seconds and 4 seconds. We're using the frequency that makes that result, but that's kind of that you can set up in a equipment by yourself as well. But the SpeedFit, what it makes is the full service, full the layout, the exercises we're getting you through, and so on and so on. Yeah,
nice. And are you Australia-wide?
Yes, almost. Pretty much we are based in WA. That's where we started with the business. And 3 years ago, we expanded to New South Wales. We have currently 5 locations in New South Wales, about to open a 6th location. And we have 3 locations in Victoria, and slowly working now on South Australia and ACT as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's talk about, why would a Slovakian-born entrepreneur end up in Perth in Australia?
Bloody good lifestyle.
Did you get that vibe that Australia was a place to come to, and it was a really innovative, energetic country, or like did you just land here because of some luck?
Kind of combination of everything. So first time I came to Australia in 2008, just back then with my girlfriend, we were kind of trying to look at it for a gap year. I was running my businesses back in Slovakia, didn't have much time for myself, and we were thinking to go somewhere for 1 year to just travel. And for some reason we decided on Australia, and we were advised that Perth is one of the best places to kind of start the journey. We were coming to learn English, and then we'll just kind of explore the rest of Australia and New Zealand. And we loved it here. We stuck in for 6 months in Cottesloe. Cottesloe is one of the best beach here in
Beautiful
WA.
part of the world, yep.
Yeah, and we were like, wow, has everything. Like before, I didn't know there is a place where you can have like 8 months of summer. You still can have a good schools. You still have like a good economic system and everything. For me, it was like, wow, this is paradise. Like it's amazing coming from Slovakia, which is like a small country, no ocean, 3 months summer a year. You know, like I was just blown away by the conditions here in Perth. And then we kind of explored Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. We went to New Zealand, but for some reason we still felt like Perth was much more closer to what we experienced, because the whole Slovakia is only 5 million people. So my city where I'm from is 200,000 people. So I like that feel in Perth is not as busy as East Coast. And we didn't think that we're going to actually end up here with a business. We pretty much planned to go back. It was just 1 year of the kind of adventure. We came back going along with our businesses and so on and planning for a family. But for some reason, we are still feeling like the Australia kind of set the bar quite high from the lifestyle point of view, and we were missing it. When we were there, we were like, wow, we know it could be actually better. Could be sunshine actually almost all year round. I don't need to put all these clothes on me all the time. And I was personally looking for opportunity to invest and have something in Australia, because economically it's also very strong worldwide. So I was doing quite well in business in Slovakia, but I came to Australia and suddenly it doesn't really feel like you actually have a lot of money, because everything is quite expensive compared to Europe. So that was one thing that I was really thinking, wow, actually, if I will have a business successful in Australia, I can really live anywhere in the world and I will be still quite okay. But being successful in Slovakia, you go to, Australia, you feel like, wow, come on, this is another challenge to pay for a coffee, $5. I remember first day, I used to drink like 4 or 5 coffees, because that's what we do in Europe, like small espressos.
Yeah, you just stand at the
like €1 espresso and you just go, and I can like, how can I afford to pay $20, $25 a day for a coffee? Like I need to change.
It's fair hack when you think about it like that.
Yeah. So that was one thing that I was thinking, that having a business here will be very beneficial economically. And I didn't think that we're going to move here, to be honest. Our idea was, while we were here for that 1 year, I met Roland. He was a Slovakian fellow that we met here. And he was at the time looking for like another opportunity. He was in sales before. And I approached him with this concept. I opened the same concept in Slovakia. So we had a little studio in my hometown. And then I told him, look, this technology, this concept, I think it's going to go very well in Australia. Do you want to do it with me? And we made the original partnership that he's going to be the person who's going to run it and we'll be investor. Yeah. So we went kind of 50-50. I'm going to provide 100% of the funds. You're going to provide 100% of the work, and we'll meet in the middle. And if I can make enough money that I can come every year for 3 months to Australia, sweet. That was the game plan. Obviously, it didn't work out as we thought, as it's always like this. It just wasn't working. Like we kind of tried to open, we launched the business, but the clients were not coming. He didn't have a good marketing. Yeah. He didn't have enough experience to run the business. We kind of underestimated his skill set. He was really good in selling once everything is established, but to put it off the ground, and really there was so much work that needs to be done. So when we came here first time to just check how he's doing, we came to the point that we were like, wow, this is not going anywhere. And it was coming to the point that the money that we spent here was kind of quite significant. So we were like, okay, we kind of spent all our money that we could like live for 20, 30 years in Slovakia doing nothing. And we kind of burned them in 6 months in Australia. Yeah. So that was kind of the point that we were like, okay, let's try to come over here and see if we can turn it around. Yep. Obviously, we didn't have a plan, so we didn't know that we need to have the visa. So I had to actually start on student visa. I had just my firstborn daughter was born, so was like 1 year old. So coming with a young family, with that kind of good economics in Slovakia, settled, have our own house and kind of the good job, coming on a student visa to Australia, trying to turn this thing around. I wouldn't say it was the best business plan out there.
You know what? Though, you got to congratulate you for having a go, because there's not many people that would take that risk. Like, well done on that.
Yeah, I'm so proud that, like, I'm lucky as well that my wife was with me as well. I remember that we had all that comfort and kind of traveled and everything. And I asked her, would you mind if we go do that? Like, I was 28 at that time, and I felt like there's nothing more out there. Like, we were kind of comfortable, and I felt like, hey, let's do some other adventure. And I asked her, can we trade all this money and give it a go? And she's like, as far as we can have like a small apartment at the end, like that's my security. Because she grew up pretty much like me, not very well off, in small apartment with the parents. So we're like, you know what, we don't need to have more. We can risk it. And that's why that support, when you have that support, you feel like, okay, I can give it a go.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of years in Australia, still on student visa, still not making enough money. We were so many times doubting our decision. But yeah, now we're here and it's all good.
No, I love that story too. It's very similar to myself at Body Science. When I started, I couldn't have started if Sheree, my wife, had said, we're not doing that. That's a big thing. You know, I did the first 4 years of Body Science, didn't take a cent, you know, and I just left KPMG, which is a worldwide accounting firm. So you can imagine that there was a fair bit of stress and duress as to, gee, have I made the right decision here, or do you go sit back on that salary and live that comfortable life? But, you know, you look back years later and go, great decision, very grateful and thankful that, you know, Sheree was supportive, and the two businesses own Body Science now, and they're both great stories as to, you know, the Pickham family and the Young family and what we're doing. We just love what we do every day. You know, I look back now and often run into a lot of KPMG and Ernst & Young guys and look, how's life? You know, you just sit there and you know,
you think you're one of poor guys, but you're saying, oh, what's the life?
Yeah, exactly. Hey team, just a second off this podcast. It's Greg from Body Science here. The Hydroxyburn Shred is back on shelf. It's our new therapeutic, has all the taste. And if you're looking for a better thermogenic, we've really pushed for the pursuit of a better thermogenic. Full disclosure on the labelling. What do we mean? Caffeine levels have changed. We all know the rules have changed. The ingredients have changed. The claims have changed. We have a clean label with premium quality ingredients for you. So what does that mean for you? You can look at things like metabolism, energy, sugar metabolism, fat metabolism, cognitive function, thyroid, and just general health and well-being, and it's all on the label. If you're taking a fat burner now and it doesn't say it on the label, have a look at it and go, why? Get on board. You're very good with charity too, I hear. You give back to the community as well. Is that part of that life you had back in Slovakia, where, you know, when I say part of that journey from, you came here, you took the risk on, you thought, let's just do this, and now that it is successful in Australia, has been good to you. Is that part of why I'm always interested in why people work with charity, or because I'm all about, if you do something for someone else, you're going to live a good life. Yeah. That's me personally, and it's, yeah, I am told you do a lot of fundraising for people.
Yeah.
And is that to do with the way you were brought up, or you're just a good bloke? What is it?
It's great for PR. No, I'm kidding. No, we pretty much, because that was the mindset. Like, we came here, I always wanted to have the kind of sustainable business in a way that you don't need to take all the money and all the profit. I see it as an amazing journey. As far as we can provide for ourselves to have a comfortable life, then we're looking how we can enhance things around as well and improve. And to be honest, you're right that we were not doing things like this in Slovakia. To be honest, in Australia, I feel that, you pay much more taxes and a lot of things, but everything is working around as well. And you kind of feel that you would like to help as well around, because you see that so much. Maybe for someone who was born here, don't see the difference. But for me, even just seeing that the playground in the park is actually working and the grass is cut, that's kind of something that you feel like, wow, this is an amazing place. You know, so to kind of see that contrast is very different, and that no one just stealing from you, because that's how we kind of grew up in Slovakia. So we came to the point that you go, okay, so we kind of established ourselves. We have no good lifestyle. So how we can help not just the charities, but the same thing with our company. We're trying to really invest to development, to personal development, because I see it as an opportunity. Like, I taking SpeedFit as an amazing journey and opportunity for everyone to kind of execute their dreams or something. Like, if it's aligned with our brand and you want to achieve something and we can support you, I go, hell yes, let's do it. That's why we're doing all that stuff. That's why we're coming to work, spending so much time here, that we want to just kind of look around and say, actually, we're having impact on someone else, not just on us as the shareholders, but we kind of really impacting also communities. And it's really like what we're doing for people as well, because SpeedFit is not about the fitness. And I know that we have a lot of fitness people, so I don't want to sound harsh, but our clients are very different from typical fitness. They're not looking for a six-pack. Like, that's not about, because of SpeedFit, they're going to have a better selfie. It's pretty much like a lot of guys have so much issues that that they can't go to gym because of the issues, they can't lift the weights because of the impact on their joints. They can't do it because of whatever reasons. So many of them, you're taking them from that kind of dark space, almost like they gave up on their fitness journey, and you're reactivating them back to the life, and they can really be active again. That's where we see that we kind of have strong mission to do that. And then you can see, okay, we can impact our clients, how we can impact also people who can't be our clients. So we can actually extend kind of beyond just our typical clientele. And that's when we thought, working with charities, with kids and supporting these people, that will be an amazing thing we can do.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. You touched on something there that I just want to, how do you feel after a SpeedFit session?
Everyone feels differently. I feel really energetic, really kind of like a buzz, because you wake up everything. During my studies for Certificate 3, when I came to Australia and had to do all the Certificate 3 in fitness and all that stuff, I already knew obviously SpeedFit and I was using it. So when I went back to bench press or leg press or something, I felt like you're going from Ferrari, EMS, kind of all the muscles working simultaneously, 150 contractions, and then you're just going back to one muscle group at a time. I felt like, wow, this is really downgrade from what I know is already out there. So that's how you feel. You kind of feel full alive, wow, I done massive, amazing session, and it's just 20 minutes. And I feel also good that I've done it, tick the box, okay, I can go and do the rest.
Nice. And do a lot of people do functional training and SpeedFit together? Is there a lot of combination training, or has one merged into the other, or is it mainly people who are not able to hit the gym?
I would say it's a combination, but majority of people will be people who are, I would say 92% of our demographic are people between 31 to 60 years old.
Okay.
So that kind of covers that. A lot of our people are either able to do physical exercise and all this high intensity, but they don't have a time. Mm-hmm. So that might be one part of the people that go, okay, I really would like to do it. I really would like to do F45 or whatever, but I just can't do it because I don't have enough time.
Yep.
So SpeedFit will be the option for them. We have some people who combining because they want to still go to the gym and they see that it's just as additional to their thing, especially from endurance point of view, because they might go, okay, I'm doing my weights, but SpeedFit, you kind of engage all the muscles together. So really it's kind of like that high intensity workout.
Yeah, nice.
And some people can't push themselves to do that intensity. What is beautiful about SpeedFit is that once you plug in the machine and set it up, it's going to happen if you like it or not. You just can't work in the gym, okay, it's not my day now. It's your day, mate. It's going to happen. So
it's lucky you're trying to pre-workout in there first.
Physiologically, you're going to have that impact. And that's another group of people. We have people who, I'm not saying they're lazy, but they just go I don't have the motivation to go and kick myself in at 6 a.m. and move from machine to machine and really push the things. With SpeedFit, I feel sometimes the commenting is like a dentist. It's expensive, it's painful, but it has to be done, and that's it. You have this type of people. And then obviously what I mentioned is the people who used to be active, for example, but now really looking for low impact exercise, or they came to the shape they don't feel like gym can help them because of their overweight situation or pretty much a weakness overall.
Yep.
And the difference is with SpeedFit that if you go to gym, you still need to physically push something. You need to lift something. You need to kind of push yourself. So some people, obviously, when they are not doing anything for years and years, it will be really high risk of injury, and they might not have time or option to afford really good personal trainers who can guide them slowly through that process. With SpeedFit, because you connect yourself to the electrodes, we have clients who've been 40, 50 kilos overweight, not doing anything, pretty much just plug them in, holding the bar, and maybe going on tippy toes and up and down, doing this for 4 weeks, shredding some weight, getting stronger. Then we adding lunges, then we adding some squats, and then we moving. And you can see the process through the 12 months that person pretty much getting fitter and fitter.
Yeah, nice.
And maybe in 18 months, we have clients who come back to gyms because they go, oh, now I'm fit actually. Now I feel confident in myself. And I always wanted to join the community of gym, and I just didn't feel that I belonged there because of the way I looked. So we have people that we can activate as well back to gyms.
Love that.
So it's a mix of people. Yeah.
So if somebody's looking to, or someone listening to this is interested in a SpeedFit franchise, how do they contact you?
Pretty much going on the website. You go to the website, we have the franchise section there. So speedfit.com.au, and you fill the form, and someone from our team will pretty much get in touch with you. We are franchised because we could do actually corporate locations. We have, at the moment, we have 21 corporate locations locations open, and
Yeah,
it's not
nice.
typical, but 11 of them are actually corporate locations.
Yep.
I pretty much, because we see that the business is great and we can do it by ourselves, but then to have that someone who is really involved in that location, that's why we kind of launched the franchise.
Yes.
Because it's about the personal service, and if you have that invested person, it always makes a difference. So we can see that the performance of the studios when you have someone who owns that business but is also there every day seeing the clients and so on, performing slightly better. So that's kind of reasoning behind the franchise, and who we would like to kind of engage to join our like family in a way, to service the clients, be orientated on that, providing the service, helping the community, and that's probably the best combination for us. Yeah,
Nice. And how did you meet Sinead, our BDM in WA?
To be honest, I think it was through our nutritionist. We offering, as I said, we try to offer the full range of service.
Yep.
So if you are a member of ours, you will get obviously pre-workout and post-workout always after the session free of charge.
Yep.
You will have access to Evolved body composition machine every quarter. You will have access to free nutrition classes every quarter. And we are looking for some products that can again support our members. And I think our nutritionist came up with the connections. Look, a lot of our clients looking for a collagen because they look exactly have issues with the joints, with the bones. So where we can find the best collagen, and then I think comes to you. And we said, okay, let's buy the collagen from you guys. We also providing the free post-workout drink, as I mentioned, and we didn't have a vegan option. So that was another thing. I think she found the one, and clients love it, like the vegan protein that you guys have. It tastes amazing. So that's pretty much the connection started. And I think we're having another product from you, I think greens or something, that then she recommended to us. And that's how it started. And we've been using it then.
That's good. I love hearing that story. So if people want to contact you, do you have your own Instagram account, or are you running SpeedFit's Instagram account?
Yeah, we're running kind of SpeedFit Instagram. Like I have my own, but it's really like, I just kind of here and there tag things from the behind the scene. I'm not really active on social media myself. My wife is more kind of like that person.
She's the guru.
I'm always busy with life and everything around. But SpeedFit stories are like SpeedFit Instagram is probably the best place to go. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. That's been a great chat. It's always good to talk about new technologies, to learn what's happening in the fitness industry. I love hearing success stories of people who have started business and are doing really well. And your story was really interesting. That's a lot of kilometers traveled to land where you are. And I'm just want to say congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate it.
Perfect.